have discussed about the government of India. So few things, few objects we have discussed. So that our India is consisting 29 states, 6 union territories and 1 national capital territory. So that is Delhi. So this is what it is there in our India. And here there are 3 branches are there in the government. So they are, already we have discussed, the legislature and the executive and the judiciary. So these are the 3 branches of the government. And also the government according to the constitution, it is having 2 tiers. So one is the union or central government and another one is the state government, and some powers and duties are provided to these governments, so that the powers and duties of these governments are: the union or the central government holds the power in accordance with the union list. So union list, what the power, what the duties means, what the list is having. So this central government is functioning according to that. And the state government, it has the power in accordance with the state list, whatever it is provided. And one is there that we call as the concurrent list. So there both the governments functions together, like it may be the marriages, the education and all. So there these are the concurrent list, the criminal laws and all. So there both the union as well as the state government, the central government as well as the state government, they have the powers in accordance with the concurrent list. So about this we have discussed in the yesterday's class, and today we are going to discuss about the central or the union government. Okay. Union or the central government. Union or the central government. So this union or central government, this is resides and governs from New Delhi. So this union or the central governments resides and governs from New Delhi, which is the capital, the national capital. And here again this central government is also have 3 branches. So this is resides and governs by the New Delhi. Okay, whatever it is means the governance or whatever it functions, it is from the New Delhi. And it is having 3 branches again. So the government having 3 branches, so here is also. Okay, the central government have 3 branches, so that the one is the central legislature, and the central executive, and the third one is the judiciary. So these are the 3 branches of the central government: the central legislature, the central executive and the judiciary. These are the 3 branches of the central government. Now we can discuss one by one about the central legislature and the central executive and the judiciary. Now we can discuss one by one about this. The first one is the central legislature, or it is also called as the the central legislature. So the first one, it is the central legislature, or it is also called as the parliament. Yes, the central legislature, or it is also called as parliament. So here again the central legislature or the parliament, it consists of two houses. There the two houses are there. So one is Rajya Sabha and another one is Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, these are the two houses of the central legislature or the parliament. So there are two houses are there. One is Rajya Sabha and another one is Lok Sabha. And firstly we can discuss about the Rajya Sabha, later we can discuss about this Lok Sabha. So here the Rajya Sabha is also called as the upper house or the council of states. This Rajya Sabha, it is also called as the upper house or it is also called as council of ministers. And it is having 250 members maximum. So maximum there are 250 members are there. The Rajya Sabha consists of 250 members at the most. And among these 250 members, the 238 members are elected by the members, okay, by the states and union territories. So 238 members, they are elected by the states and union territories. States and union territories. And remaining 12, the 12 members, they are nominated by president. Nominated by the president. And here they are, so the president, the 12 members who are going to be nominated by the president, they must have the knowledge or the practical experience about the literature, science, art and social service. And social service. So the members, the 12 members who are going to be nominated by the president. So in the Rajya Sabha there are 250 members are there totally at the most. The maximum 250 members will be there in Rajya Sabha. So among these 250 members, 238 members are elected by states and union territories. And the 12 members, they are nominated by the president. And these 12 members who are going to be nominated by the president, they must have the knowledge or the practical experience about the literature, science, art and social science. Then only the 12 members are nominated by the president. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸಭಾ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಿರ್ತಾವೆ ಟೋಟಲಿ 250 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟು 250 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೋ. ಆ 250 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 238 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಟೆರಿಟರಿಯಿಂದ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಟೆರಿಟರಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಅವರು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ 238 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ. ಇನ್ನು ಉಳಿದಂತ 12 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ದ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್, ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾಮಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ನಾಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆದಂತ 12 ಜನರೊಳಗೆ ಏನು ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಡೀಪ್ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಆರ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್, ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಈ ವಿಷಯಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಯಾವ ಲಿಟ್ರೇಚರ್, ಸೈನ್ಸ್, ಆರ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್. ಸೊ ಅಂತ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಇರುವಂತ 12 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯಾರು ನಾಮಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ 238 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಟೆರಿಟರಿ ಇಂದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ in Rajya Sabha, they are indirect because the members who are elected to the means the members who are elected by the elected members. So these members, what the 238 members are there, they are elected by the elected members of the legislative assemblies. So legislative assemblies already the members are elected, and by those members these members are elected. That is why it is the indirect elections, means the elections which are there in the Rajya Sabha, they are indirect. Already now elect madidanta people, yaru legislative assembly ಒಳಗೆ ಇರುವಂತ people, they only, the members, they only elected these, so that it is the indirect. The elections are indirect in Rajya Sabha, and this is the permanent house and it cannot be dissolved. And also its members are elected for the period of 6 years. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ members elect ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, so their period, the term is 6 years. So 6 years ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಏನಿರ್ತೈತಿ, the elected people, they have to govern for 6 years. And the house is presided over by the vice president of India, who is also the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. So here members of parliament have to be some of the members to become the members of this parliament. They have some qualities. So that what are those we can discuss. So the members of parliament here, the Rajya Sabha. Yes, the members of parliament have to be so the first one is to become the member of the parliament, he must be citizen of India, and age 30 or more, 30 years or more in age, means more than 30 years, 30 years or more, okay, more than 30 years. And name must be in the electoral rolls, on the electoral rolls of any part of the country, on the electoral rolls of any part of the country. So the person should have all these to become the member of the parliament. So he must be the citizen of India. ಅವರು ಭಾರತದ ನಾಗರಿಕರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. He must belongs to India, citizen of India, and 30 years or more age, should be 30 years or more than 30 years, and on the electoral rolls of any part of the country. मतदार पट्टी ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, vote ಹಾಕಕ, so that his name must be there on the electoral rolls of any part, means in the country he can be live in any part of the country. So So the Rajya Sabha is also called as the upper house or council of ministers, and it having the 250 members at the most, and among those 250 members 238 were elected by the state and union territories and 12 are nominated by the president, and they have some qualities like they have the knowledge or experience, the practical experience in literature, science, art and social service. And here what the elections are there in Rajya Sabha, they are the indirect, and this is presided by the vice president. And here the members of parliament have to be the citizen of India, 30 years or more, on the electoral rolls of any part of the country. So this is about Rajya Sabha, and next we can discuss about Lok Sabha. The second one is Lok Sabha. The Lok Sabha is also called as the lower house or house of the people. Second one, it is Lok Sabha, and this is the Lok Sabha. It is also called as the lower house or house of the people. The lower house or the house of the people, and the Lok Sabha has 552 members. So here at most it is having 552 members, and among these 552 members, it will be divided into three criteria. So here the 530 members are the state representatives. State representatives means they are from the state representatives, and 20 members are union representatives. Okay, so there are totally 552, and among these 552 members, 530 members are the state representatives and 20 members are union representatives, and the remaining two members, they are nominated by the president. They are nominated by the president of Anglo-Indian members. So they are Anglo-Indians. Anglo-Indians. Okay. So likewise, the members are elected to the Lok Sabha. So the Lok Sabha, it is also called as the lower house or house of people, and here there are totally 552 members are there. Among those 552, the 530 members are state representatives and 20 members are union territories, means they represent the union territories, and union territory representatives, and the two members are nominated by the president, and they are the Anglo-Indians. And according to the constitution, the term of the Lok Sabha is 5 years, and the house is presided by the speaker. So this house is presided, it is governed by the speaker, and the terms, so the terms of this Lok Sabha according to the constitution MPs of this Lok Sabha have to be some of the, again, like how we discussed about the Rajya Sabha. So here also, to become the member of the parliament, the people have some criteria. So they are the same. First thing, members of parliament have to be. ಈ ಲೋಕಸಭಾ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ ಏನೇನು ಇರಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. he must be the citizen of India. Indiaಗ he must be belongs to the India and 25 years, more than 25 years. The age should be more than 25 years. Okay, if the age is more than 25 years, he can able to become the member of the parliament. And on the electoral roll of any part of the country, any part of the country, ಅವ್ರ ದೇಶದ ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಆಗಿರ್ಬಹುದು, ಬಟ್ ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಏನಿರಬೇಕು, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟೋರಲ್ ರೋಲ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮತದಾರರ ಪಟ್ಟಿ ಒಳಗೆ. ಮತದಾರರ ಪಟ್ಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ we all are voting, right? So in the elections we all are voting. So like that, the vote list, what we call, so electoral roll. So that his name should be there on the electoral roll, and he must be the citizen of India, and his age should be more than 25 years. So this is about the Lok Sabha. Okay, so Lok Sabha, it is called the lower house or the house of people, and here Lok Sabha has maximum 552 members, and among these 552 members, 530 they represent the state, and 20 members they represent the union territories, and 2 are nominated by the president. They are the Anglo Indians. Okay, and the term, according to the constitution, the term of Lok Sabha is 5 years, and it is presided by the speaker, and the members of the parliament have to be the citizen of India, more than 25 years, and on the electoral roll of any part of the country. So this is about Lok Sabha. And the next, the second branch of this central government, the central executive. The central executive, it has sole authority and is responsible for the daily administration of the state bureaucracy. Second one, the central executive. So this central executive, it is having the sole authority. So whatever the daily administrations are there, so it is having that by bureaucracy among that all, and it is the responsible for the daily administration of the state bureaucracy, whatever it is there in the state. So that sole authority will be there in the central executive, and it consists of the president, vice president, and council ministers. So this central executive, it is consisting of the president, vice president, and the council ministers, the council of ministers, and along with this, the prime minister, who are the prime minister as the head to aid and advise the president. So along with these president, vice the Council of Ministers is appointed by the President on the recommendation of the Prime Minister. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಇವರು ಈ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ನ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ಈ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್, ಬಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೆಕಮೆಂಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್. ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಯಾರನ್ನ ರೆಕಮೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅವರನ್ನ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಆಸ್ ದ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್. This is about the central executive, and the next one is the judiciary or the Supreme Court. The judiciary or Supreme Court, third branch of the central government, the or Supreme Court. Yes, the judiciary or Supreme Court, it is having the supreme power. Yes, the Supreme Court, it is having supreme power in it, and here the Supreme Court is there in New Delhi, and in the judicial system of the country, it is having the supreme power. It holds the supreme power of it in the judicial system of the country, and one Chief Justice and 25 judges. They are elected by the President. So here, one Chief Justice and 25 judges. So in the Supreme Court, one Chief Justice and 25 judges will be there, and they are means in the Supreme Court, one Chief Justice and all the 25 judges, they are elected by the President. So these are members, they are elected by the President. Okay, so it holds the supreme power, and here one Chief Justice will be there and 25 judges, and these are elected by the President. And the Indian Constitution gives the Supreme Court absolute power for enforcement of fundamental rights. So there are many fundamental rights are there about the equality and the child marriage and the education. So likewise, some of the fundamental rights are there in that. So about that all, it have the supreme power, and it have to enforce that all the rights to the system, and the cases dealt by the Supreme Court deal with the center and state disputes, and also the transfer of the cases from the high courts. So in Supreme Court ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ, ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರ್ತಾವು ಅದ್ರ it deals with that. With that, it also deals with the cases which are transferred from the high courts. ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋವರ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವು. ನಮ್ದು ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಕೇಸ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಸಮ್ ಮೇಜರ್ ಲೋವರ್ ಕೋರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ ಲೋವರ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಸಿಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ದೆನ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಒಳಗೂ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಸಿಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೈ ಕೋರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. Suppose in case if we do not get the justice in high court also, then the case is transferred to the Supreme Court, and there the final justice will come out there. ಈಗ that is the Supreme Court. That is what we say that it holds the supreme power. Okay, and it enforces all the fundamental rights in accordance with it will deal. It mainly the Supreme Court deal ಮಾಡೋದು ಇದರ ಜೊತೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆ ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕೇಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಲೋವರ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಡೀಲ್ ಆಗಂತ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಸಿಗದಂತ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಏನು ಹೋಗ್ತಾವೆ, ಫೈನಲಿ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ದ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್, and there the things are finalized. And this judiciary, the Supreme Court, it is having one Chief Justice and 25 judges, and they are elected by the President. government, and the second one is the central legislature or parliament, and the second one is the central executive, and the third one is the judiciary or supreme court. So these are the three branches of the central government. So I will conclude my today's class here. I hope you have understood this, and even though if you have any queries, you can contact me and clarify your doubts. Okay, and in the next class we can discuss the President of India as well as the state government. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.